There's a very short list of people who can walk into a room, say absolutely nothing, and still make you laugh. Rowan Atkinson is at the top of it. Here are his best moments.
Quite a while ago, called Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Oh, yes.
In which Mr. Bean... and there was a scene...
You're so casual about that. I did a film called Mr. Bean's
Well,
Because he'd look like an even bigger knob if he said, oh, well, of course you all know Mr. Bean's Holiday. You know,
yeah, exactly.
it's actually
I'm trying to reduce my knob quotient. Right, how do you want to sit down?
No. I'll get behind you.
I see, I just sit here and...
Yeah,
and
you don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Coming up on Sunrise this morning, we meet the lovely Mr. Rowan Atkinson. We talk about Mr. Bean's Holiday, and all you have to say is, if you miss it, you miss out. Simple as that. You ready?
Right, okay.
I'm good at this.
Good, okay. How interesting.
Morning, Neil Sean here on Sunrise. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. Rowan Atkinson, and we talk about Mr. Bean's Holiday. Remember though, Rowan?
Oh, sorry?
If you miss it, you miss out.
Do you mind doing that again?
Yeah, okay. Morning, Neil Sean here on Sunrise. This morning we meet Mr. Rowan Atkinson and we talk all about Mr. Bean's Holiday. Remember though, Rowan?
What?
If you miss it, you miss out.
Oh, yes.
Don't miss Rowan Atkinson on Sunrise this morning.
Award season is supposed to be all humility and thank yous. But in this skit, Rowan Atkinson clearly didn't get the memo.
Now, these are four fine actors, and I'm sure they'd all agree that the point is not to win, but to play the game. Winner is... John Daniels. No, shit. Unfortunately, John is unable to be with us tonight, and so I'd like to ask his co-star David Forbert to accept the award on his behalf. David.
When your whole career is built on your face, people recognize you everywhere. Atkinson's talked about some genuinely weird fan run-ins, including one, out of all places, at a car parts store.
It's the, the thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognize you particularly, but half recognize you. You know, it's that strange thing of where they go... and of course that means they stare. They stare a lot. And they just look. Standing around with a group of guys, and I could see this guy doing that. And he came up to me after a while and he said, "Excuse me, has anyone ever told you that you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean?" I said, "Well, actually, I am the actor who plays Mr. Bean." And he said, "I bet you wish you were." This bizarre conversation in which the more I tried to claim that I was the person whom he thought I merely resembled, the less he believed me. But what was funny was how close he thought I was to you know, he said the resemblance is uncanny.
Blob and bob. Now, obviously you must get recognised all over the place in England, because your show is number one.
Yes, it's, yes. I mean, you know, it would be immodest and not very British of me to admit to any celebrity whatsoever, but I suppose in Britain I am pretty well known.
Yeah.
And it has its... and it has its ups and downs, you know, and some people are very, you know, I mean, sometimes when people meet you, they behave very strangely, you know, they're desperately trying to behave in a perfectly normal fashion, but they're so distracted by the fact that they recognize you, and bank tellers. Last year I went into a bank to cash a check and I handed over the check and she said thank you and she said, "Oh, Mr. Atkinson, I'm such an admirer of your work. Could you sign this piece of paper for my daughter?" So I signed the piece of paper and I handed it back and she took it back, she put it on side and she looked at my check and she said, "Now, do you have any means of identification?" And you think, well...
Very few people can walk into a room and make everyone laugh by saying ordinary words. Rowan is one of those people.
If you could just by saying them, make them funny. Just say the word.
Airbag. De Dion Bouton. Petrol pump.
The faces.
Yeah, exactly,
also
that helps.
important. Reviewing a car, because I have to think of all sorts of things to say about a car. Just do it with an expression.
Right.
So, for example, if you were presented with McLaren F1, The imperiousness one gets from a Range Rover.
Ah, right, okay. But you don't... You know, one doesn't like to be labelled a face puller because you feel as though if you have got a face that, you know, that's manageable and one can go like that, you can twist around. That you feel that people are going to assume that you're just, you know, that's all you can do, and if in doubt, go, you know, and someone will laugh.
Curious about how Mr. Bean's humor came to be? Well, you're about to find out.
But before he went on, this guy goes up there, who he had never met before,
Right.
and holding just a piece of paper, he made everyone laugh for 7 minutes without saying a word. And he
Right.
said that was you.
That was me.
Yeah, and
yes.
he goes, do you remember that night?
Yes, I certainly remember the night. It was a one-off. It was a one-night review, and I was asked if I wanted to do something, and I couldn't think of anything. And I'm not really a very diligent writer, so I thought I just stood in front of a mirror, to be honest, and I just started pulling faces. I mean, for want of a better term, and I just sort of, you know, was doing this. He contrived to have international appeal, I suppose,
Right, because there's no language barrier.
Because I was based actually on a visit, on a holiday in Venice that I had in 1985, quite a long time ago. And I just remember noticing all the musical artists who were popular at the time, you know, the Duran Duran and David Bowie and classical musicians like Daniel Barenboim. And I thought, how odd that musicians generally assume they have an international audience.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do comedy, you assume you've just got your country and your kind of people who are going to enjoy what you do. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun, because I had already started exploring just doing purely visual comedy, whether I could, you know, do that on... I'd explored it on stage, and I was interested in trying to put visual comedy through the character of Mr. Bean on TV. And so that's where it started. Well, the first ones we did were in 1988, 89, and then it sort of grew from there, and now we've got this...
Weird, it's like it's got its own life.
We've seen Atkinson get interviewed, but what happens when he's the one asking the questions? And the guy in the hot seat is Elton John.
But tonight we are to welcome a man in his chosen field. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elton John. Elton. Funny name, Elton. How did you come by it?
Well, I used to be in a band, and I wanted to become a singer in my own right, and I wanted to choose a name, and the saxophone player in the band was called Elton, so I chose that name.
Did you ever consider John Elton? You didn't. Right, well, let's start with those early albums, then. One of which I believe was called simply Elton John.
Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't feel awkward with the name at all. Let's talk about being a stage performer. Tell me, do you ever watch other performers and get jealous?
I'm not sure I follow you there. I mean, jealous of what?
Well, for instance, Ben Elton.
A car fanatic.
Yes, yes. I have a car buying disease, almost as bad as yours.
Yeah, it's a terrible disease, but not quite as bad as yours.
Do car commercials and things? Well, I don't do car. I do credit card commercials, actually. I did a credit card commercial in New York a few years ago, and there's this beautiful woman gets out of a limo in the middle of New York, and he sees her. And this scene was when I had to look at her as if I'd just fallen in love with her.
Right.
And the director said, just imagine that you've just seen your wife for the first time. And my wife happened to be on set at the time. And she said, no, that won't work. Tell him to look at her as if she's his new Aston Martin.
Oh, well,
And then it'll work.
oh, that'll work.
And she was right. But it inspired me no end. I looked at her like no woman has ever been looked at.
Really?
Oh, no. And,
Can you give us that look? I'm curious.
yeah. Can I too?
When you're performing live, everyone expects you to play it safe. But Atkinson opened his set as the devil, taking attendance in hell.
Hello. It's nice to see you all here.
Now, as the more perceptive of you have probably realized by now, this is hell. And I am the devil. Good evening. But you can call me Toby, if you like. We try to keep things informal here, as well as infernal. All here for eternity, which I hardly need tell you is a heck of a long time. For now, I'm going to have to divide you up into groups, if that's okay. Can you hear me at the rack? Well, if you'd stop screaming, that would help. Okay, now, murderers. Murderers? Over here, please. Thank you very much indeed. Looters and pillagers, over here, please. Thieves, if you could join us. And lawyers, you're in that way. You'd like to come down there. Yes, there's plenty of room. If the hedge fund managers would just move along a tiny bit.
Most people assume being a comedian is based on your personality. It's just who you are. Atkinson has never seen it that way.
The most horrifying thing to do, I start with a quote that I read. Oh dear. From you. It says, the problem with talk shows is that you're supposed to amuse. I generally rely on being interesting rather than funny. They, that is, us here, are not actually very interested in people who are very interesting. They just want people with wacky stories about airports, and I haven't really got any.
How true.
It's true.
How true. I haven't.
So how was Kastrup Airport?
No, I have no stories.
No.
I suppose that I'm just an actor, probably, at heart, rather than a comedian. I'm always rather confused, as I think I know you are, about whether I'm a comedian or whether I'm an actor.
No.
You know, or whether I'm
not
an actor.
confused at
You're not
all.
confused
No.
at all? Oh, well, I'll stop talking.
I know you're boring now, and I know you will
exactly.
consider...
Exactly. You'll be nodding off in no time. I can be funny, I think, as myself, when I'm with very good friends in small rooms, and I'm very relaxed.
Well,
but as soon as I'm in a big
it's just
studio,
the two of us here, so...
and all...